The United States Supreme Court is broken. And no, I don't mean their rulings are wrong or that they can't perform their job. In recent years, they've actually been one of the more surprisingly stable pillars of American democracy. But the way the country appoints new justices has obvious flaws that makes the system worse for everyone. So let's dive in. Let's start by going over some recent clear examples of how the Supreme Court structure hurts all sides of the political spectrum. On the one hand, Barack Obama was unable to appoint his final justice due to Congress's obstruction. Meanwhile, Donald Trump got to appoint 3 justices, while Obama only got 2. But on the other hand, the Republicans now have to worry about Democrats packing the court with additional justices. So these issues are definitely problematic, and they definitely cause unneeded stress to every president. Looking back into American history, we even find that Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the only president to ever serve 4 terms in office, was able to appoint 9 Supreme Court justices during his tenure. That's right, 9. All while maintaining executive power for 12 years, with his final 4 years in office after his death being passed on to his vice president. After FDR's extreme popularity and power over the US government waned, Congress took steps to prevent that consolidation from ever happening again, installing term limits on the presidency, but making no real changes to the Supreme Court. The US Supreme Court works like this. The president can nominate anyone he wants at any time, and if approved by Congress, that person is added to the Supreme Court. That's all there is to it. Presidents traditionally add justices only when a former justice has passed away, or when attempting to offset a previous president's influence, but I think that the flaws in the system are pretty obvious. It relies too much on honor and precedent. There are no real rules. Theoretically, a president with support of Congress could appoint every single person in the country as a Supreme Court justice. It wouldn't make sense or be practical, and he'd definitely be stopped by something eventually. But the fact that it's theoretically possible shows just how broken the system is. And conversely, a president facing the opposition of Congress could be entirely unable to appoint new justices, even if all the old ones were to pass away, leaving no Supreme Court at all. The system is so bad it's almost impressive. But wait, it gets worse. Following the tradition of having only 9 justices at a time, set by the precedent held since 1869, presidents can only appoint new justices when the old ones die, making the number of justices they can nominate totally random, and any justice they appoint gets to stay on for life. In effect, this creates a bizarre situation where the president actively benefits from Supreme Court justices passing away, which is never a good thing to accidentally incentivize, and the president is highly motivated to replace them with the youngest person possible, rather than the most qualified. It also means that the most important justices in the country are never able to retire in good conscience, leading to a lot of unnecessary stress, pain, and poor quality of life in their later years. The whole system is insane. But how do we fix it? Well, that's actually quite easy. The first step is to lock the number of Supreme Court justices with a constitutional amendment, so that no party can ever artificially pack the courts. For the sake of maintaining tradition, since it seemed to work pretty well, let's just lock it at 9 justices. Then comes the problem that the justices' terms are based on their lifespan. Well, the easiest way to solve this is of course to make proper term limits. The justice joins the Supreme Court, fulfills their duties for X number of years, and then retires with a government pension to make way for a new justice. But how long should the term be? Well, this is actually a great opportunity to hit 2 birds with 1 stone. Another problem with the court was that the number of justices a president gets to appoint is random. So, let's change that so that each president gets to appoint 1 new justice per term. This makes a nice rotating court, where each appointee gets 32 years as a normal justice, 4 years as a chief justice, and then retirement, for a total of 36 years on the court. This makes the court stable and consistent, and it gives judges ample time to make their mark without being trapped there for life. And it also creates a nice structure where the court will always have justices with an even range of experience on the court. This also means that people will get better representation in the judicial branch. Justices try to keep politics from influencing their decisions too much, but we all know that bias is inevitable. At least under this system, the bias follows the country in a controlled way. If you voted for Trump, you know you'll get one Trump-approved justice. If you vote for Biden, you know you'll get one Biden-approved justice. And in the case of two-term presidents, the power is doubled, but not overwhelming. Obama's second term in office would mean you get 2 out of 9 justices with the Obama seal of approval and his judicial philosophy. But wait, you say, what if a justice passes away before their term ends in the rotation? Or what if Congress refuses to appoint any of the president's nominees before his term is up? Well, these questions still remain, but I'm interested to hear your thoughts, so comment below with your own solution to these if you have any ideas of your own. But despite these inevitable problems down the line, which you may just see as moving the original problem and kicking the can down the road rather than actually solving it, I still think the overall proposal would make the Supreme Court a lot better and more stable. It would help every voter across the political spectrum, all presidents and all justices themselves if we could get some proper term limits and a rotating court. Do you agree? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below if you learned something new or what your ideas are for the Supreme Court. And I hope to see you again next time.